Yep. Okay. Let's talk about summer solstice. Let me get the chart up here and let's talk about what we see here. First of all, do you guys know what summer solstice is? Summer solstice, first of all, there's spring equinox. That's spring season starts. That's when autumn equinox is when autumn, winter, not fall season starts. Winter solstice is when winter season starts. And summer solstice is when summer season starts. And that is when sun enters Cancer, okay? The longest day of the year is summer solstice, hence why it's Father's Day, because the sun represents the father, if you didn't know that. But it is the longest day of the year with the sun. The sun reaches its highest point. It marks the official beginning of summer. This is a time for a reset. Okay, if you are not happy how you were for your New Year's resolution, guess what? You can start over when the day the sun enters Cancer, start over, okay? A lot of ancient cultures celebrate the summer solstice. It's associated with abundance. It's a great time for reflection so you can know what you messed up on, what you need to work on. Nature is at its peak. This is when the plants are thriving, crops are growing, and the earth is bursting with life. A lot of people are outside and connecting with loved ones and sticking to what makes you feel safe. Okay, the days begin getting shorter after summer solstice actually starts, which is so funny. But the sun enters Cancer, and let's talk about some astrology themes. Even though summer solstice is all about astrology, now that the light has revealed everything, what will you do about it? The summer solstice acts like a comic reset. It is a checkpoint where you can reassess all the Neptune in Aries, Saturn in Aries, everyone's doing a reset, okay? But this is when you can reset what has grown and what has not grown. Also, too, it's a great time for doing some inner healing, that inner child healing. And what's been growing will be visible during the summer solstice energy, okay? June 21st is when we enter the summer solstice. And I have the exact chart here. And I want to talk about what it's going to look like while we are in summer, the whole season in summer, okay? So get ready, all right? First of all, the sun in Cancer, it is going to sextile Chiron, which I talked about all that. So this is really good if you want to work on your finances, if you want to work on your self-worth and your resources. It's going to connect with your ego, your family, your home, your emotional safety, your ancestry, your past, your nurturing, things that were from the past. You can heal and you can start to feel safe if you felt unsafe. That's really good. The energy's out there, but you have to work on it because that's what a sextile represents, okay? So over the summer, many people will be aware of their past. Juneteenth is a big deal for me. So that's just an example of you like learning about your past and it helping your ego, your vitality, your drive, okay? That's just one example, but it's not just have to be that. But you could be working on your physical home as well. Now, also too, I noticed during the summer solstice, this whole summer, there is going to be a lot of talking, a lot of broadcasting, a lot of news. Get ready, big conversations, family growth, about your homeland, about your family, emotional intelligence, important announcements. A lot of discussions about mothers and family and children and the things of the past and memory. Cancer remembers. This feels like the summer where people will be revisiting their past in order to know their future. It makes me think of Sankofa, the bird. Since Jupiter amplifies Mercury, information is going to spread. And it's not going to be very direct because Cancer energy likes to move sideways. So things move sideways when discussing things. But both of these things makes me think of books. It makes me think of writing. It makes me think of journalism. It makes me think of the World Wide Web. It makes me think of podcasters, Substack, X, all of it. Okay? Now, the sun, this is the one that's a big doozy here, is going to square Neptune in Aries. Okay? Now, again, the sun represents leadership. It represents your consciousness. Trump also too. Any type of leader, father figure, identity, vitality, and the focus for the collective. Neptune is all about dreams, illusions, spirituality, escapism, confusion, and inspiration. Neptune's in Aries. Aries rules something new. It represents the identity, individual, action, independence, leadership, courage. Cancer, again, the home, the past, your family, your security, your emotional needs. I said the past. But yes, a lot of insecurities here. Know that, okay? Let me see. What else I also notice is that this is very interesting because when you have these two squaring, that means a lot of confusion lost in the sauce during the summer, okay? A lot of spirituality being lost too. A lot of people not being compassionate, really focused on the self and the ego, not focused on others, or a new charity, if you're starting that, may not be the best during summer solstice. Now, it's squaring, it's trining though, the North Node in Pisces. This is great. This is a water trine. I love water trines. It's all about the feels, okay? Both signs are deeply emotional, intuitive, and spiritually receptive. So while the ego is lost in Neptune, it trining the North Node means that the direction will be there. God is going to just put you in your right path this summer, okay? You can't see the road because Neptune's over there making you lost in the sauce. However, God is putting you in your divine path. Visibility is limited. You're still on a road. You just simply can't see the miles ahead. It's almost like when you're driving in the rain. Have you guys done that? Driven in the rain and it's pouring raining and you can only see directly in front of you. You can't see what's way ahead. It's kind of like that. The North Node says move forward, what feels to be aligned. Neptune is going to make you question that. You may not see the 5-year plan. Just know that what you're doing is sending you on the right path, and God's going to keep trying to direct you to your right path. You don't need to, just keep moving toward what feels aligned, okay? Neptune's going to make you feel questioning of that, though. I just want you to understand that because it's touching the sun, and the sun likes to highlight and give you like the flashlight to things, and Neptune adds a little darkness to that, too, okay? The sun represents our consciousness. Neptune blurs that. It dissolves it. It's very spiritual. It's also very deceitful. It's uncertainty about the future, confusion, disillusionment of leaders, unrealistic expectations, emotional projection, idealism, competing with reality is what you get with that. Do I follow what feels safe or do I feel inspired? I don't know if I feel inspired kind of energy. And God's like, just keep going to your path, okay? Uncertainty about direction. Intuition could be an issue here, and Neptune kind of softens the ego too. So be ready. Your dreams may confuse you. Signs that are coming your way may be throwing you off, but there's still this spiritual alignment here. So I just want you to understand that there is a sense of not seeing it, but there is a feeling that you may feel it, okay? Squares forces action, and this is the square, and it's forcing you to act. Okay? And there's going to be action towards the ego or a leader or something new or drugs. Okay? Neptune often removes that veil as well. Now, also, too, what I see is really good is that the moon, which is the ruler of the sun, every time we have summer solstice, and that moon is sextile the sun. So this makes things feeling great. You're going to be feeling positive. You're being very practical, analytical, all about organization and your health and service to others. And there's discernment here. So that's very positive. It's sextile Mercury and Jupiter. So it's going to really be voicing it and discussing it and higher education and beginning education. That all works really well. Okay. So that is what we have for the summer solstice. Just know that there's going to be some confusion this summer when you're trying to do a reset. But God has everything in its direct path for you in your alignment. So, for example, if someone just comes to you and say, have you ever tried jump roping? And you're like, oh, I never. No, I don't jump rope. And let's just say the next day you get an email. You just happen to say, let me check my email. Or you're in the elevator and someone says, oh my gosh, I found this jump rope. Is this yours? And you're like, that is like God putting you in alignment. Like, first I whispered it to you, gave you a little hint, like, what are you talking about? And then I handed you a physical tool, which is the jump rope, which is very tangible with that Chiron there, tool there. And now you have the jump rope. And now I'm going to have someone call you and give you a free class about jump roping. That is that alignment. But you are confused. You are lost. You cannot see it. Maybe there is falsity. Someone says jump roping is bad for you, but for some reason, God keeps handing you a jump rope. That kind of energy, okay? Let's do, let me see. Do I have, yeah, okay. I talked about everything about Chiron. I want you to understand, wow, summer solstice, happening for summer solstice, we have a lot of passion that's coming our way. A lot of passion, okay? People are going to feel inspired during summer solstice. There's a lot of passion. What can we do with that? Neptune, you're going to be feeling a little lost. You're going to be feeling hurt in the words that you say. So be careful with that. But other than that, there's a lot of passion. God is giving you new inspiration, new drive, new creativity. I find that to be very positive during summer solstice, okay? Let's talk about this